All right, welcome to the underwater level podcast thing. This is episode 5. Really, only 5? Well, I mean, I'm only doing it like monthly, so I guess we won't get the double digits. We will get the double digits this year, but we will uh I guess go through like the stuff that's happened the past month or a little bit over a month because it is a little bit later than I would have had it this month. Um because of the we did the mini bedathon, uh, some other things like happened, but there's a lot to talk about here. Um, First of all, this happened like after the mini bedathon, I think, or it might have been before. I don't remember. Um, but the state of play, um, I completely forgot it happened. Did you guys remember? Like, I completely forgot like what like major things were revealed here. Um, Because I just remember, like, one of the things that was talked about after the state of play were the Astrobot levels. Um, oh, yeah, they did show Monster Hunter Wilds. Yeah, so this was before Monster Hunter Wilds came out. So this was, like, right before the, um, the release, I guess. But yeah, they talked a bit about that. Oh, yeah, we did have a big, like, thing from Sega here. Um, yeah, uh, the Shinobi game was, fully revealed here. Um Which looks very good. I, uh, I really like the way the style looks and everything. Um, Looks very fun. I enjoy this kind of, like, 2D game. So, yeah, Shinobi looks very good. We saw a bit of, the new Sonic Racing, um, which it looks like you're going to, like, different, worlds in the tracks. You're going to, like, different dimensional things. It's gonna do it right here soon. Uh, Shadow. Shadow came, so there you go. Through the rings. Like in the movies. See, you got dinosaurs there. Dinosaur track. Yeah, we had Sonic Racing. This was surprising. Um, at first we were trying to like figure out what this was, and then they said Digimon. Um, so yeah, a new Digimon game coming out. A Digimon story game specifically. Like Cyber Sleuth and I forgot what the other one's name was. Um, so that's coming out. I have never played one of the Digimon story games. I've only played like Digimon World 3 on the PlayStation back in the day. Um, but I haven't really played any of the games other than that and, having a little Digimon, digital pet I've had before. So, that's interesting. Um, and I believe this is Lost Soul Aside, which was announced like a while ago. Um, but has finally reappeared. Um, Looks very cool as far as like an action game goes. So I know there were a lot of people that were excited about that for Lost Soul Aside, which is actually coming out in May. So that's nice. We've got a Yakuza and Dave the Diver uh like collab DLC, which is very funny. I don't know what this is. I think we were just like whatever on that one. 2KW WE to 25 or whatever. Um they showed a little bit of Borderlands 4 um which to me is like, "Oh yeah, Borderlands. Sure." I've only played the first one and a little bit of the second one. Um we had Oh yeah, the Split Fiction um trailer, which just came out actually. It actually had some like very good reviews. It had a very high uh peak player count on Steam, so it's doing very well. Um so yeah, that just came out, Split Fiction. And then this what wait, what was this? Oh, yeah, this is this game, I forgot. I forgot this was revealed here. This is, like, one of those, I forgot the name of the studio that made it, but it's, like, a very, like, narrative, like, focused game where I guess you, like, do choices and stuff, but it looks very interesting. Um, because I remember when it was revealed here, we thought it was, like, a game based on Alien. Um, but yeah, Directive 8020. Yeah, based on, like, uh, Alien or The Thing, but yeah, it's its own original thing. But yeah, it's a Dark Pictures game. Yeah, that's the it's like an anthology of, like, games and stuff. Um, then we've got when we saw the, Freddy Fazbear thing here, um, yeah, their, FNAF game, Secret of the Mimic. Yeah, now I'm just, like, refreshing myself on what was shown here. Oh, yeah, this game, game that had, stop motion models here that were, like, 3D scanned in, um, which looks very nice. So that games looks very interesting. Um, which is yeah, the Midnight Walk. Um, then we had, this it was called, like, Darwin something? Hold on. Darwin's Paradox, yeah, which I think a lot of people are saying, like, Octodad? But no, it looks fun. I saw some people comparing it to, like, something like Limbo or Inside with the way the gameplay looks. Um, but you're an octopus, which looks fun. Apparently, like, Konami's, like, publishing that one, which is interesting. It's, like, a smaller little game. Um, here's a, Dynasty Warriors roguelike? Um, which it kinda just makes sense for a Warriors game to have a roguelike game, which I'm surprised they have not done one before. Um, but yeah, that's, Warriors Abyss, which actually shadow dropped. I didn't even realize that. Then we got Onimusha, 2, the remaster they did for that, and then they showed, uh, more footage of the new game coming out, which that was revealed during the Game Awards. Um, so yeah, looks cool. I've never played, Onimusha, but yeah, Capcom's have been, like, pushing out a bunch of stuff. Um, we've got another, trailer for Metal Gear Solid Delta, which did they give us a release date? I don't remember if they did or not. Oh, yeah, they showed the, the Ape Escape apes here 'cause, they were in the original. Okay, yeah, August 28th is when Metal Gear Solid Delta is coming out, so later this year. Oh, yeah, this is, Hell Is Us, I believe? Yeah, September 4th, which looks very interesting. It has very much, like, Death Stranding vibes to it, um, but it looks very cool. And then we got our, Lies of P DLC, which I know a lot of people have been waiting for. Um, looks pretty substantial as far as, like, DLC goes. And then this thing was weird. I remember when we saw it, it was like, "Oh, what is this?" It's very strange. Yeah, Dreams of Another. But yeah, I remember, like, people were thinking, like, "Dreams? Like, do you know that, game that was on PS4?" Um, it looks very weird. Then it's funny that this is the most replayed. Um, they revealed a Days Gone remaster that was, like, rumored last year. Um, yeah. they're just doing a remaster of Days Gone, which, a lot of people were like, Who asked for this?" Um, but yeah, remaster of Days Gone, okay. And then we got a, Stellar Blade and,
My
Nikki.
mom!
My mom asked for it, well, we got, Stellar Blade and, Nikki, um, Nikkei, like, collaboration here. I don't know, I've never played the games. Um, there's a, Life is Strange, game there. Just going through, like, trying to get all of everything here. Blueprints? Um, we've got what was this? Oh yeah, they were doing like classics catalog. Apparently, like a bunch of Armored Core games were heading to the classics catalog, which I think it came out like this week. Um, and this here, this looks interesting. Um, never heard of this developer before. Um, but very big like fantasy vibes to it. It kind of like already reminds me of like what the new Expedition 33 Player Obscure, like that game coming out. It kind of reminds me of that already. But it looks really cool. Uh, though Player Obscure here, of course, is turn based. This is like more action. But I remember when we saw this, like, oh, this looks interesting. See, what was it called again? Yeah, Tides of Annihilation. And then this, I think everybody was thinking, oh, is this Marathon? And it was just something completely different. Um, something that's not Marathon because they haven't like shown Marathon yet. Um, yeah, where's the title here? Oh yeah, Metal Eden. That's the name of it. Yeah, and there's this thing. I know some people were interested in this. Uh, Mind's Eye. Yeah, yeah. There were. I forgot how much was revealed here, but a lot was just forgotten about. Yeah, they're talking a little bit about it. All right, and there's our big like PlayStation Studios. Like this was the last thing that was revealed here. I think the reason people didn't really remember a lot from this state of play is because there was not a lot of first party stuff. There was like the Days Gone remaster and this, and I don't think anything else from first party. I correct me if I'm wrong. I think those are the only two things. But yeah, um, there was a lot of third party stuff, which was interesting. Like a lot of third party stuff was like looked very cool. But like the only first party things were like yeah, the Days Gone remaster and this, which was it's basically the next game from Housemark, um which made Returnal. Um so and they kind of imply in this trailer with the narration that it's going to be the same kind of gameplay. Um but they didn't show any, which I know a lot of people were also like upset about. It was like, well, we know, I guess it's gonna be like Returnal, but you didn't show any of it, so you just showed this like pre-rendered cutscene. So, but yeah, um, yeah, there was no Square Enix either, so we didn't see anything from them. Um, but yeah, mostly third party stuff. Um, and two two first party things. I'm not missing anything else. Is that are those really are the only two first party? Yes, Sorrows is the name of um the game. Did I miss anything else? Were those really the only two first party things they showed? Was it Sorrows and the Days Gone remaster? I think that was it. Damn. Yeah, that I think that's why a lot of people are like kind of disappointed in this state of play because like those were the only things they that PlayStation Studios showed. Um, like no updates on like some of the other things that their other studios are working on. Um, which is weird because like after this state of play happened, um, there was a post saying like, "Oh, we're gonna have new Astrobot levels," and that would have elevated the state of play a little bit, just a little bit. Um, because like literally the day that came out, that this state of play came out, they said, "Oh yeah, there's gonna be new Astrobot levels like every week for the next 5 weeks," which we played on Thursday. Um, they came in expecting Bloodborne 2, is basically, yeah. Well, the thing is, like, they're doing a remaster of Days Gone, and people have been asking for a remaster of, like, Bloodborne for so long. So, people are like, "Please, please do it." Um, but yeah, that was a state of play. Um, a lot of cool third party stuff, but like I said, people were expecting more first party, like, representation here because we don't really know a lot of what's coming out in 2025 for PlayStation as far as, first party goes. So, yeah. Um, but coming up Days Gone, more like, that day was gone when the state of play happened, yeah. And speaking of Astrobot, since I talked about the levels, um, they're releasing um, an Astrobot, PS5 bundle, which is available, this week, I believe. Um, but yeah, they have, 2 different versions. They have of course, a disc version, and a digital version. The disc version is 449, so $50 less. It's $50 less than, the, regular PS5. Um, and the digital version, however, is still 400. So I would get the disc version if you don't have a PS5, just so you can have some physical media. But yeah, wish they made the controller that has Astro. Oh, they actually do. Or do you wish they this had the controller that had Astro's face? But yeah, if they did have the controller with Astrobot in this bundle as well, that'd be really good because that controller looks very nice. Um, but yeah, definitely a great game to bundle in with it because it also comes with Astro's Playroom. Like that's on every PS5. So you can play Astro's Playroom first and then play Astrobot and then yeah. But yeah, that was announced this week or earlier this week. All right. Enough about PlayStation for now. Let's talk about Pokemon. There was the Pokemon Presents that happened on Pokemon Day. We watched it. Um After that I built like a little Charizard thing and we opened some cards. But there was a Pokemon Presents on Pokemon Day. And there's a few things they talked about. Apparently there's a season 2 of Pokemon Concierge is coming out later this year in September, which is really cool. Pokemon Concierge was very cute. So excited to see more of that. We see some more of the some little test footage here. Um we got raid battles and Pokemon that happened that week. Um I know people were like excited seeing like some of the black and white stuff when we did not get black and white remakes announced here. Um got Masters EX stuff, which I don't really play. Cafe remix stuff, which also I don't really play. Pokemon Sleep, get nightmares with Darkrai. Yep, that's what happens if you download it. You'll get nightmares with Darkrai. Anyway, Pokemon Unite. They went through a lot of this stuff like very quickly. Suicune has a new outfit. Well, I don't know if he was like already in the game. I haven't played Unite really. Um, Then we got some of the big stuff. Pocket, which has been very, very big. TCG Pocket. Um, they announced their new expansion, which came out like the day after. And we opened some cards of that too. Yeah, Triumphant Light. They had some like special missions and stuff. And then they announced stuff for the card game. That Mega Evolutions are coming back, which apparently it might be its own like era for these megas, like a very short, a much shorter era after Scarlet and Violet. Um, but yeah, yeah, Mega Evolution is coming later this year for the trading card game. Got some updates for raids and Scarlet and Violet, and now, oh yeah, this was like one of the big announcements, and it was kind of a tease a little bit because like we saw these them playing the original games, and people were thinking, oh, are they going to do like the classic collection that was like rumored? But no, that's not what it is. Um, it's Pokemon Champions, which is just Pokemon battling. So I guess a modern take on something like Pokemon Stadium or Battle of Revolution or something. Um, but you'll be able to use your Pokemon from Pokemon Home. And one thing that was shown is that you're gonna have like some of the different battle gimmicks together. Like you'll have like Terrestrialization and Mega Evolutions together in the same game. Um, so we think they might also have Dynamaxing, but we don't know yet. It was like later it was said that they might have limitations to begin with for like which Pokemon you can battle with to begin with, but we'll see. And the Z-moves, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see. They didn't say when. It just said it's now in development. Um, but we'll see here. But yeah, you can connect Pokemon Home for your Pokemon here. Let's see. Bringing Latin American Spanish to the games. Before they only had Spain Spanish. Um, then we had the big stuff at the end here with Legends EA. We had a big trailer, um, showing that it looks like it's running on the Scarlet and Violet engine. Um, but I personally think it looks a little bit better. At least frame rate wise. Like I was trying to look at the Pokemon to see if they were running at lower frame rate like they did um in Legends EA or not Legends EA in Legends Arceus and also um Scarlet and Violet. Like if you see like Pokemon in the background or whatever that might like run in lower frame rate. Um, but we have like real time battling here, which is very interesting, and also Mega Evolution is back, of course. But yeah, we got our starters: Chikorita, Tepig, and Totodile. So two Gen 2 and one Gen 5, which is interesting. I don't think people are expecting that we'd have like two from the same generation here. Um, but yeah, I personally think it looks better than what Scarlet and Violet looked like. Um, got AZ back here, and it looks like it's more in the future. However, I have like um my own like theory about things where I think it might be like an alternate timeline or something. I mean, like we've already like dealt with like alternate timelines in Pokemon before, so it might be, but we'll see as far as like the story goes. But yeah, oh yeah, one thing somebody noticed is that look when when you battle a Pokemon, its HP is gone. It's knocked out. You don't have to make its HP, like, go to a certain point. It's like, once the HP is gone, it's just knocked out and you can catch it. That's the first time that's ever happened, as far as, like, a mainline game goes, or a game where you can, yeah, like, transfer things to home. But yeah, we have, like, real-time battles. You can actually move your Pokemon around. Looks like they just kinda, like, follow you around, but it's really interesting. It looks like there is a cooldown on the, on the moves and stuff. So that's interesting. Very different from the way, Legends Arceus did things. But that looks like a lot of fun, though. So, I'm excited to play it. There was, like, this thing here about, like, battling at the end. Not sure what that was about, that tease. But yeah, um, very excited for Legends EA. It's said it's coming out in late 2025. I'm not sure what that means. Before I thought, hey, maybe that means the Switch 2 is coming out later than they anticipated, because this is supposed to be a Switch 1 game. Um, but um, this might come out after the Switch 2 is already out, because we'll talk about that later. Um, because remember when Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon came out? I don't think it's a dual release. I think it's just Switch 1. Um, especially with the way it looks. Um, because remember when Ultra Sun and Moon came out, and there were rumors beforehand. It's like, oh, they're going to do a Switch version as well. They never did. They never did that for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Um, I doubt the Pokemon Company is going to make another version for Switch 2. I think it's just going to be, backwards compatible. Um, which it seems like it's going to, like most games are going to be backwards compatible with Switch 2. So yeah, that's why I think, like, but literally because of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, like, because there was those rumors beforehand about, like, oh, they're gonna do Switch version as well, and they never did. Um, so because that came out the same year as the Switch. Another thing that came out, which I'm surprised they didn't talk about in the Pokemon Presents, and on we watched it on Pokemon Day, um, which is the Dragonite and the Postman, um, the Dragonite and the Postman, um, short, which was from the same studio that did, like, Your Name and Weathering with You and all that, um, and Suzumi. But yeah, it was a very cute short. Very much recommend it. But yeah, Dragonite and the Postman right now is only the Japanese upload. I don't know if they actually added a dub on here or not. I don't think they have an official one. There's auto translate in this. I don't know if this was an official translation here. But yeah, it was very cute. Highly recommended. Highly recommended. So yeah, they didn't talk about that in the Pokemon Day or Pokemon Presents, but thought I pointed out. Just like a 13-minute short, very good. All right, moving away from actually not moving away from Pokemon. I lied. Never mind. um, this is related to GameStop. Um, and this is so this was sent out, and then GameStop actually made a statement after this. Um, says until further notice, Pokemon TCG products will no longer be available for pre-order in store or online. Moving forward, all future Pokemon TCG products will be shipped directly to stores to encourage more foot traffic. So yeah, GameStop's never not taking pre-orders for Pokemon cards anymore. And also they're selling stuff a little bit more. than MSRP now, um, at GameStops. So, yeah. Um, some people were mad about this, some people were happy about it in that they're, like, trying to stop, like, bots and stuff for, like, getting, like, all the pre-orders and stuff. Um, and trying to stop bots and scalpers, but we'll see. I haven't been into a GameStop since this change, um, but we will see, uh, what they do, or how they do, going forward. Because like, it's been crazy this year with, like, um, the popularity of TCG Pocket and, that bringing in a lot more people into collecting the cards and stuff. So, we'll see how it does. Um, and speaking of TCG Pocket, uh, recently they just announced an update. Um, so instead of doing the trade tokens, uh, they're going to remove trade tokens. And instead they're going to be using Shine Dust, which I think a lot of people assumed that was what you're going to be using, was the Shine Dust you get from cards and junk. Um, so it's kind of crazy, uh, that they're changing the way trading works, because it was so bad. Um, I only traded a little bit with Cass, and that's about it. And I haven't really traded since, because the trading's so bad because you can only trade up to 1 star, uh, like, rarity Pokemon. However, there is, some more, like, things they talk about here. Um, like the fact that they, at the end here, they said, it says that in addition to changes above, we're also looking into how to accommodate cards that are currently unavailable for trades, such as promo cards and the 2 star rarity cards. So I think the fact that, if you could get like 2 star rarities at least, um, that would be much better. To allow those to be traded, as well as promo cards, because like, there's certain promo cards that, like, other people can't get because they didn't start playing at launch. Um, so yeah, I think that will, improve things a lot as far as trading goes in TCG Pocket. Um, I will say, uh, it's going to take a while before they implement this, because apparently this is not going to be changed until like autumn, so much later this year. I think they didn't realize how much people would hate the trading system. So it's gonna take them a while to, like, implement things. Um, and I think they realize that, like, a lot of people just are not trading, because like, the trading's so bad, so people are just not trading anything. Um, so yeah, at least they're listening, and in that, like, people are saying, "Well, trading is bad. I'm not gonna trade." Um, so that's what I've been doing. I just haven't been trading. Um, all right, moving on. Moving on from Pokemon cards, let's um let's move on to Magic cards, because this was fully revealed. Magic the Gathering and Final Fantasy. So there are some other things that were revealed as well with Magic, but we're talking about this because it's Final Fantasy. Um, as well, one of the gaming collaborations they're doing. They've done things with like Fallout and Assassin's Creed before, but those weren't quite as like talked about. I know Fallout was talked about a little bit, but Assassin's Creed definitely wasn't talked about that much. Um, but Final Fantasy, this is a big one. Um, but yeah, they're doing Final Fantasy cards. Uh, I'm very interested, just like to collect them. I love the art they're doing. Because I know Final Fantasy does have their own card game. However, um, however, the art with the art with the Final Fantasy card game just sort of has like some of the stock art that they use for Final Fantasy, so it's not like a lot of original art, Whereas with these cards, these are like original art. Original artists like doing just original art for Final Fantasy characters. So I think that is more appealing to me, rather than the Final Fantasy card game. Um, like things like this here with the Jumbo Cactuar. Um, However, this is stock art because that's like one of the original um uh original arts of Yuffie there. But yeah, um, it's coming out in June 13th. So there's plenty of time to like get pre-orders and stuff. There's still like it goes off and on. I've seen on Amazon. However, they are it is very expensive. Let me see if I can get the thing here. I believe I have it on Best Buy's site here. It's way more expensive than I thought it would be, as far as like Pokemon cards go. Um, because when I looked at this, I was like, wait a minute. So this one isn't too bad. Um, However, it's only like how many boosters are in here? It's $40 for. Oh, oh no. Does that say one? Oh, this is one of those like guaranteed because it may include serialized card, which is like really rare. Um, yeah, this bundle here, a $70 bundle, which is crazy. Has 9 boosters in it. Which that's how much like an elite trainer box has for Pokemon. Pokemon's elite trainer boxes usually go for about $50. 50 or $60. This is 70. And this is just the boosters. The elite trainer box has like a nice little box and like dice and stuff and card sleeves. This is just boosters. And even these decks, I was shocked. I was shocked when I saw like how much these decks cost. $70? How many cards are in there? So I was like shocked, like it definitely sticker shock for me coming from Pokemon. Um, though I don't know if because it's like a collaboration. Um, because like even with like decks, because like no like a lot of people don't want the battle decks with Pokemon, and those are usually only like $10 or $20. Um, this is like the most like the cheapest thing I've seen, or is this little starter kit? I'm not sure how many cards are in here, but it looks like 2 little decks you can have here with a Sephiroth and Cloud. So that's that's fine. That's like $20. We got one of these big a bundle gift edition here. That's 90 about $90. Um, one of these booster boxes. This is one of the like collector edition boosters. 404 hold on. $430 for 12 packs? What? That's the retail price? I was shocked.
Wait, what?
And even if the booster box is bad because like this is like usually the Pokemon booster boxes go for a little bit under this. Like $161 is about how much a Pokemon booster box goes for, which is like 36 packs. However, this is 30 packs. However, it's like 15 cards per pack. But yeah, um, if anything, I would get one of these maybe just to, like open up because there's a lot more booster packs in there. However, there's like certain things that are like not guaranteed. Um, but yeah, I was shocked with like how expensive it was. For like the retail price. So yeah, and a single booster is $7. Crazy. Anyway, let's go back to Pokemon. Some bad news about Pokemon, by the way. So Niantic, the people who make the people who make or run Pokemon Go, but not just Pokemon Go. They also do these are some of their original games they made before Niantic Wayfarer, but they also do Pikmin Bloom, Monster Hunter Now. Those are like their three most popular games are like Pokemon Go, Pikmin Bloom, and Monster Hunter Now. They're being sold to Scopely. Their gaming business is being sold to Scopely for $3.5 billion. And if you don't know what Scopely is a Saudi-owned gaming company, and people are very worried about this because they think things might change a lot in the games as far as like monetization goes. Um, Hopefully it doesn't change too much because like it's already to the point to where people don't really like the changes they did after the pandemic because like they actually got like really generous during the pandemic with like raid passes and stuff in Pokemon Go. Um, and they rolled a lot of that back and then made it a lot more like transaction heavy. Um, which I still play Pokemon Go a little bit, but I don't know what's going to happen with Niantic like selling the gaming business. Um, we'll see how it affects Pokemon Go and Pikmin Bloom and Monster Hunter Now because like those are three like very very popular um mobile games. Pokemon Go like is like way way bigger than the other two, but the other two I know a lot of people still play as well. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, Moving on to something more positive. Tetris Forever is getting a handheld, which looks very interesting. I think that this looks really cool. Um, but yeah, you'll be able to play like the Famicom Tetris and Tetris 2 plus Bombless on this little thing. It's like $140, but which is about the price of like what a Game Boy was. Um, a little bit more, but it looks very really cool. As far as like a little dedicated handheld. And there's like a little collector's edition with a little Tetramino box. Um, but yeah, Tetris Forever. I did download the game. It's basically very much like a documentary, like a video game documentary hybrid where you like you go through these interviews and then you will play the game they are talking about. Um, it's very cool. I really enjoy Tetris Forever, especially if you love like video game history and especially if you love Tetris. I highly recommend like downloading Tetris Forever and going through like the documentary like interviews and stuff. It's very fascinating like how like Tetris evolved over the years, how it came to be in the 80s and then how it evolved throughout the 80s, how they got, the license to put it on the Game Boy. Um like all the different versions of Tetris that came out over the years. It's very cool. But yeah, they definitely intentionally like designed it like a an old school Game Boy here for the for this custom handheld. But yeah, they also did a couple of other little documentary things with Karateka and Lamasoft. Um but this is definitely their most popular one they've done because it's Tetris. Everybody knows Tetris. Everybody loves Tetris. Well, I don't know if everybody loves Tetris, but I love Tetris. Um but yeah, pre-orders for that are out now on Atari's website. But yeah, I very much enjoy Tetris, or especially Tetris Forever. It was very very cool. All right, I'm gonna go through the stuff as the ads are going through because um it'll just be you can see it on the VOD if you are in the ad. Um, so this is a very interesting um thing I found. Uh, it's called Ludocene. Um, It's a dating app for games, but not what you think. Not like dating other people. You're dating the games, and by dating the games, I mean you're just finding out which games you want to play. Um, which I think is very interesting. Um, so let's see them talk about the game for a bit. Oh, hold on.
Ludicine is our matchmaking deck builder. It's like a dating app that pairs you with games rather than people. It all starts with you building the perfect deck of cards that represent your gaming tastes. From the off, we present you with a stream of cards. These do two things. They're hunting for games that are a really good match for you, but also games that aim to broaden what you might consider. If you just know the games that are an absolute sure thing for your deck, you can just search them. I play a lot of Blatro, so that's a really good one for me. Assemble a Care is a game I've played, but I don't think I want it in my deck of cards. Marvel Snap.
Oh, let me get it to where you guys can see it a little bit better here. All right, here we go.
Games that aim to broaden what you might consider. If you just know the games that are an absolute sure thing for your deck, you can just search them. I play a lot of Blatro, so that's a really good one for me. Assemble a Care is a game I've played, but I don't think I want it in my deck of cards. Marvel Snap, yes, that one can go down. Slay the Spire, yeah, I'll take that too. So in this way, I'm building my perfect deck of cards that represents me. I'm then ready to move on to review these recommendations that I'm getting. The first step is to raise that recommendations tray to get a broader view of the games on offer. You can then get a better look at these suggestions by running your hand along it, popping those cards out. As you do, those play favourite cards move to show you which resulted in this particular game suggestion. These all come from those human-picked associations in our data. When you spot a game that you think is a good match, you can pull it up into the area above, view the trailer, flip it over, get some more details. If you really like it, pop it down into your pinned area, and that's another choice that the system will keep note of. You can then move into refining the suggestions we're offering, pick a platform, and those games are immediately updated. But as well as that, we have a whole load of gaming experts on the system that we've paid to register their gaming tastes that you can pick to influence the suggestions that we're making for you to match that particular expert. So here, if I pick Joe Mansfield, he runs Thinky Games and has a taste that really leans into puzzle and thinky games. Two things immediately happen. Those big cards at the top are now coming from his tastes, and also all our suggestions at the bottom have been reordered to prioritise games that overlap with these kind of thinky games that Joe likes. If we remove him, our suggestions revert back to kind of the system defaults. If we pull in Chris Schilling here, you'll see our suggestions are reordered to match his taste, and also the games that we're being suggested at the top, again, match the sort of games that he would pick. So in this way, you can keep drawing on these different experts to organise your suggestions, but also to pick down games that you want to add to your deck as you slowly build out the games that really represent you. Each time you pull in a different expert, you get their tastes applied to that algorithm, and you get a chance to kind of draw on their expertise. We also have the chance to pull in other cards which can playfully rearrange your choices in different ways. Perhaps you have a Game Pass subscription, so you can pull in a Game Pass card, and then games that are on Game Pass are prioritising the suggestions as being for you. Or perhaps you like the idea of a roguelike, you can pull in a card for that, or maybe couch co-op. So we have lots of ways which we can extend these choices. You can carry on adding games to a favourite, reviewing recommended games, changing those games that are pinned. Once you've found a game or two you like, we have the best price right there for you to go and buy from the official storefront. You can just flip it over, click to see the prices, and then any sales will be listed and you can click through to purchase.
So yeah, it is very much like a an app to find new games to play that you haven't played before. There is a like a Kickstarter for it for this app. I don't know if they're funded yet, because because I liked their oh, they are funded. Because I liked their post on like Blue Sky when I saw it. I was like, oh, that looks very interesting. But they also like messaged me. They sent me a DM asking if I wanted any like custom footage to show. So I do have a custom like footage that they recorded for me. of, like, games that I suggested, that I like. Um, so let me show you guys, this capture here. Let me see if I can get it. Okay. So this is a custom capture they did for me. Um, Among Us. So yeah, they typed in Shadow of the Colossus, which is one of my favorite games. Put it in like my favorites, and then you see games here that are similar to it on the bottom here. Immortals Phoenix Rising was suggested after that. Nier Automata, another one of my favorite games. Some more games show up that are similar. You can see Bayonetta 2 down there. Uh, of course, you know it's from Platinum, so that connects. Rain World Downpour showed up for as a suggestion. Astrobot, I really like, so I told them to put that in there. So I put that in my played favorites. So some things showed up. Bayonetta shows up here. Put in Bug Fables. So this was really funny when I saw this in the footage. Is like Balan Wonderworld showed up, which that's really funny that showed up as a suggestion. However, there's some other suggestions that's here. The Hat in Time, which like I've also played. I do really like that. A new Super Lucky's Tale I haven't played, but have been interested in. Bayonetta shows up again. Put in a Metroid Dread here. Have just Metroid in general. So you can see, yeah, Bayonetta 2, Rainbow Billy, haven't heard that. Born of Bread, I have heard of that. That is something I've been interested in. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown makes sense for Metroid Bread being Metroid Dread being there. Not Metroid Bread. Tinykin, I've also heard of that. That's a Pikmin like. Have just Metroid here in general. Tiny Thor. Let's see. Unpacking, I have played. So yeah, a bunch of yeah, Breath of the Wild there. So yeah, it'll recommend things based on your tastes. And I do like see some things here that I've played that are based on my tastes. And then like he was saying in the video, you can search for like experts or whatever, which I don't know a lot of the people that they have on the app at the moment. So I probably wouldn't use that. Um oh, you see Final Fantasy down here, Final Fantasy remake. Um but yeah, it's very interesting. I think it's very interesting as like a recommendation like system for games. Um so yeah, if you do want to give it the Kickstarter, they do have a Kickstarter. Um so they are funded. So they will probably be coming out at some point this year like officially. Anyway, yeah, I just thought that was something interesting that I wanted to put in the list of articles here. Okay, now back to bad stuff. Microsoft, I could just end there. Um, they they want to do AI stuff with generating gameplay, which looks really bad. Yeah, and it's all based on this one game that like Ninja Theory was working on, and it just looks bad, and it just has like it's very scrunched up and everything. But yeah, AI generated games. Um, it's basically all the data is from, like, this bleeding edge game, that Ninja Theory is working on, so it's like it's not even from different games. So it just looks very bad. Um, and it's very people are very skeptical on it, and I'm very skeptical on it. I'd rather they just, like, come up with the ideas
The
on their
only
own
place
and
I
not use
belong is in
AI
the
to
trash.
try to come up with ideas. Um, you cannot make AI generated anything sound good, yeah. So, yeah, ugh. It doesn't look good, and, like, Microsoft's, like, all in on it, and people are just like, "We don't like this." So, yeah, let's see what the some of the comments said here. That generated gameplay GIF lasts longer than the time people spent playing Bleeding Edge. Wow, that's funny. Um, but yeah, I don't like it. I don't like where, like, AI stuff is heading. It's very bad. The best thing we can do is just, like, try to push against it. Artists, like, push against it. That's all we can do right now. Um, and speaking of Microsoft, there's other things that are happening. Apparently they are set to release a handheld, um, maybe sometime later this year, which would be interesting because that would have it go in direct competition with the Switch too. Um, However, it would not be running, like an Xbox, like an Xbox, OS. It was just be instead running a handheld Windows OS. Uh, because apparently they want their future Xbox consoles to run Windows, so you could play, like, I guess, other stuff, or have the cross, like, buy stuff work better. I don't know, but yeah, and apparently they want their next gen consoles to launch in 2027, which is like it already feels like, this generation has barely started. Um, so I don't know. I mean, and Xbox is already like not doing that well, so man, I don't even know. Also, like I'm very tired, like I said. So I won't be going like too far in depth with these things. Didn't Windows try a handheld before? I don't remember. I know that there are like Windows handhelds that are like by other companies, like from Asus and stuff. Um, like the ROG Ally, um, and like other custom, the Ioneo. That's another like PC handheld. Um, that run Windows, but it's not by Windows. Which are in this case, by Microsoft. Um, but we'll see what they do if they actually do reveal this. Um, so we'll see. And apparently the successor for the Series S/X in 2027, whenever they decide to reveal that, I still feel like it's too soon. Um, because like I said, it feels like the generation's barely started. Um, for the new Xbox and PS5. But yeah, we'll see. Apparently, one of the things is that they would be like licensing out the handheld. I don't know. Xbox does a lot of weird things. Like I said, I'm tired. I'm very tired. Um, Speaking of handhelds, though, um, the Steam Deck, the Steam Deck has obviously been dominating the handheld PC market. Um, It's sold like quite a bit compared to other handhelds. I think it's sold more, more units combined than the other ones combined. As far as like I was mentioning, the ROG Ally and the Ioneo, Legion Go, stuff like that. But yeah, it sold quite a bit. Um, yeah, let me see what the number was. I think it was like 6 million or something, which for a PC handheld is very big. Like if you compare to like something like the Switch, um, the Switch is the Switch is just like crazy with how much it sells. Because it's cheap, affordable, um, has a ton of games for everybody. But the Steam Deck is mainly for like people who you already have like a big Steam library. Though it does get people like in the door for Steam if you haven't like had a Steam account before. Oh, this 6 million shipments for like that 1 year for like PC handhelds, but like a lot of that was the Steam Deck. So the Steam Deck has sold a lot. It's just trouncing its competition. Because it's simple with the way it works. Though you can mod it if you want. Um, like put like emulators and stuff on it. Um, yeah, not sure when they'll make another Steam Deck as like another version of it, like a more powerful version of it. But I think for now, like with the way it is, it's doing very well. And have different models. It goes on sale all the time. So, and you can only get it through Steam right now. You can't really get it in stores. Um, that's why if Microsoft does their own handheld, I believe it'll probably do better than the Steam Deck, just because it'll probably be on like store shelves. The Steam Deck is not on store shelves. You can only get it through Steam or like refurbished through for other stores like secondhand. Um, so yeah, Steam Deck doing well. Will probably continue to do well. Um, Next up, let's talk about some game announcements. Oh, actually, before we do that, let me do this first. Um, so Monster Hunter broke some records. It's actually more than this now. Um, like way more than this. This is kind of outdated. Um, but this was like within 35 minutes of the release of Monster Hunter Wilds. It's 738,000 concurrent Steam players. Whereas like Monster Hunter World's all-time peak was 334. So already like more than double what Monster Hunter World's all-time peak was. Monster Hunter Wilds is just like crazy, like crazy as far as like the amount of people who have come into the franchise and wanted to try it out, or just wanted to play it on PC because like if you remember, both World and Rise did not launch on PC. World launched on PS4. Rise launched on Switch. Wilds is the first time that it's launched concurrently on like console and PC. So, of course, a lot of people wanted to play it on PC. So there's a huge concurrent player count for Wilds. Um, Unfortunately, for a lot of people like myself, um, it will make my computer blow up. Um, but yeah, um, so yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds is doing really well. Um, so they assume PC will run better. Yeah, it has been have been like having crashes and stuff. Which it's kind of strange because some of the higher end cards are having the game crash rather than the lower end like cards, which is weird. Um, at least that's what I've heard. Um, my computer's main goal, yeah, to blow up. Um, but yeah, I think the concurrent player count has been gotten like way higher than that now. This was just at the launch, like 35 minutes of release. which is crazy. Like I said, like double what World was at their all-time peak. Um, so yeah, Wild's doing super super well. All right, now let's talk about some games.
Welcome back to Little Tokyo, where some big
Okay,
news has
yeah,
just reached
we'll watch
the
this
big
this trailer here.
cheese.
A video game, a video game. 30 years later, and these old-fashioned furballs are getting a new video game. These darn pizza cats are always stealing my spotlight. I haven't felt this angry since our cartoon show stopped airing on TV.
Calm down, Seymour. If the Pizza Cats are getting a new game, that means we will be cast as the main villains, right? Our voice actors are even recording the scene that we're doing right now.
But I'm supposed to be the lead. I'm probably not even going to be a playable character.
Calm down, Cheese. I have a plan. We could bribe the animators to draw a super powerful robot for us. And then we can get rid of those pesky Pizza Cats once and for all.
Bribe the animators. What a brilliant idea. And with those annoying pizza cats out of the way, I'll become the new emperor of Little Tokyo once and for all.
Oh no! Isn't there anyone who can stop this cast-off supervillain?
So, the big cheese is up to his old tricks again, huh?
Well, we've got 9 lives.
Yeah,
plus
they're
the
doing a
game.
Samurai Pizza Cats game.
When the game gets tough, you know who to call.
We are the Samurai Pizza Cats!
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The Samurai Pizza Cats are back with a brand new video game. The Big Cheese has an evil scheme up his sleeve, and it's up to you, the player, to stop him from taking over Little Tokyo. Switch between your favorite cats, Speedy, Guido, and Polyester, and get ready for some nostalgic pepperoni action. So put on your best pajamas, because we're going to party like it's 1991 with the return of the Samurai Pizza Cats.
But yeah, this was like out of nowhere. I remember like watching Samurai Pizza Cats as a kid, like very briefly, but yeah, they're making a game apparently, which it's so funny because they're like doing like the original like funny dub that they did for the English voice actors. So that's really fun. It looks like it's like a little bit of exploration, and then it's just like 2D platforming and combat here. So yeah, that's interesting with the attack there. Like she goes up and then like that's in the game. Interesting. So I'm excited about this. This looks very cute. No like idea when it's coming out. We just know it's in development. So very much like Cuphead, yeah. But anime style. Another thing we'll show here. So, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 plus 4 was announced. And there's gonna be Doomslayer in it. With a Revenant. He's doing the dupe. I opted to show this trailer instead of the other one because the other one has a more copyrighted music in it. At least this is just video game music. But yeah, that's coming out July 11th? Yeah, July 11th for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 plus 4. A lot of people were concerned that they would not have 3 plus 4 after 1 plus 2 because what happened with Vicarious Visions after Activision was purchased by Microsoft. However, Iron Galaxies is working on this one. When Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 remastered, wow. But yeah, I haven't played a Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I remember like playing a little bit, like at a friend's house, but I never like owned the game myself. But I know a lot of people are big fans of the first 4 games. So and a lot of people are waiting to see if they would do 3+4. So here it is. Um, Something I'm excited about that was announced, and there was like a very short like trailer. I'm not gonna really show it much because it was just like the gnomes. But Power Wash Simulator 2 was announced, and it's being self-published by the developer. Because I think they had like help from Square Enix before. That's why they had like a lot of like the Final Fantasy VII like DLC for it. But yeah, Simulator 2, they're self-publishing their second game, which this was very much my comfort game for a long time. In like 2022, and onwards. And I ended up like doing like all of the different jobs in the game. Or the main jobs. I haven't done like all the bonus ones yet. But it's just very relaxing. So they're doing like a new game. It looks like there's gonna be like more of a campaign stuff here with this like inside. I mean, there was already like a campaign, but yeah, I'm excited. But yeah, it has co-op and online like the first game. Yeah, coming out later this year. Excited about that being announced. Then we've got what was a trailer for a new Silent Hill, which was during the Silent Hill transmission or whatever. There's like a little presentation from Konami. But it looks very interesting. Here, let's take a look.
シュウ君、嘘ついてるよね。騙せてると思う？ひなこを。ひなこはね、死んだんだよ。ひなこはお友達といつまでも一緒にいたい。お友達は永遠じゃないのよ。彼らだっていつか必ずあなたを裏切る。あなたが裏切り者と呼ばれたように。ひなこ？あ、ごめん。何？天秤にかける価値があるかどうか、しっかりと判断しなさい。
Nope.
Hinako, いつまでここにいる気なの？自分でもおかしいと思うの。自分で自分がわからない感じ。自分の気持ちが自分で理解できない。私かお前の夢の中ってことはないよな。ひなこ、もう時間がないのよ。あなたが生かされたということは、ここに至ってもまだ迷いがあるということなのね。あなたがそれに悩める時間はもう尽きかけている。
Time for dinner.
さっきからなんで何もわからないふりをしているの私はねあんたをすぐに殺すこともできたんだよ全部奪ったな全部私から奪ったな
Silent Hill. Fuck. F.
それではお別れをあなたが幸せを掴んでくれることを願って
F for fish. Oh, your face. So yeah, so yeah, Silent Hill F.
Dead bodies. Yummy, yummy.
No release date, but or did we have a release date? No, we did not. Silent Hill, fuck that, yeah. So this is interesting because like it's, I believe, it's the first Silent Hill that's not like in Silent Hill. As far as like, you know, the location, because like Silent Hill has always been about like the location of Silent Hill, the town of Silent Hill. This is in Japan. So completely different location. However, the fog, I don't know if like they're implying like, you know, the fog is like Silent Hill or whatever. But yeah, very interesting. They're definitely having it more more definitely more Japanese, because like Silent Hill had like a American protagonist. It's the first time they've had a Japanese protagonist. Um, so we'll see. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's called Silent Hill F. We'll see. Um, but very interesting. I still haven't played a Silent Hill myself. I've only watched other people play it. Um, but yeah, we'll see how it does, because this is the first original Silent Hill in a long, long time. Especially after, you know, canceled games and stuff. All right. All right, let's move on to some Nintendo stuff. This is unfortunate. So Nintendo Switch Online, uh, we know that. We've used it for the bitathon and stuff, and to play like games. Um, it's having the first game ever to be removed from Nintendo Switch Online, and it's because of like weird copyright things about it. Super Soccer, which is very odd, a very odd game to remove. At first we only thought it was going to be in Japan, because in Japan it was not published by Nintendo. Um, but now it's actually worldwide. Yeah, just blame Canada for it. But yeah, it's very weird. Hopefully this does not mean that even more games will be removed. Hopefully not. It's just like a very odd case for this game, for Super Soccer. Because of something weird about like the owners in Japan of this game. Um, Hopefully it doesn't mean that like other like different developers will start removing their games. 'Cause so far this is the only one. Um, I don't know if it'll like go back on at some point, but we'll see. Because like it had been on the service since 2018 or 2019. I think 2019 is when they added Super Nintendo games. Um, but yeah, that really weird and kind of out of nowhere. All right. That also did get a lot of people like asking like, well, maybe they should have like some kind of virtual console thing where you can actually like buy the NSO games, so that way you could have them later in case they do get removed. But that remains to be seen for now. All right. Now, let's look at what was announced on Mario Day. Mario Kart Lego! Very cool. Very cool set here. Got a little 360 here. And it's a pretty big set, too. It's like nearly 2,000 pieces. But there's a lot of detail on Mario's face here. This is actually one of the first figures we've had of Mario in Lego that, like, actually looks a lot like him. Because, like, you know, the other little Mario, like, sets, like the Super Mario sets with the, like, the little figure that you have and to, like, make levels and stuff. He has, like, a very, like, square face. This looks very nice, though. Yeah. And it's very big, as you can see. It's a very big set. That's a very, like, those wheels are pretty big. I think it's even bigger than the, like, Mario Kart live circuit, like, cart that you can get. Um Yeah, other characters have full Lego sets like Bowser, yeah. I do wonder if you can take Mario out of the cart. It kinda looks like you can, because you can move his, like, arms and stuff. Maybe you can take him out of the cart. Because 'Cause I'm looking at, like, he has a little bend there in his legs. Hmm. That'd be really neat if you could, like, stand him up next to the cart as well. But yeah, looks like a really cool little set. So, I might get it at some point. Oh my god, that was so loud. Sorry about that. Um. He's got a little stand there. Oh my god. It's, like, taking forever to load this. Change the stand around and stuff. But, yeah. It's a cool little set. I think this is, like, the only thing they really, um, announced on Mario Day, other than, like, you know, sales on Mario games and stuff. Because we probably won't know more about, like, you know, future Mario stuff until the Switch 2 Direct. But yeah, it comes out May 15th, which is very soon. Which is weird because, like, the Nintendo Game Boy, the Game Boy set they announced doesn't come out until, like, October. Not sure why they announced, this coming out first when the Game Boy isn't coming out until much, much later. I was gonna see if he would take the, Mario figure out of the cart. Because it kinda looks like it does. Yeah, I don't know. But we'll see. Let's see. Let's next go to... So this is interesting. There's a report that, they've already shipped 400,000 units of the Switch 2 to North America in January. So, that makes me wonder, is the Switch 2 going to be releasing earlier than we thought? Like, is it gonna be releasing in June or May? Um, I don't know. Another thing, this does say May 15th, and there's another thing about this. Yeah, we're definitely gonna find out on April 2nd. But, yeah, 400,000 units in January, so I guess there's a lot more that are already being shipped, like, you know, from last month and this month, in the coming months. Uh, because like, that's another important date here, May 15th. Because, um the new Nintendo store in, San Francisco is opening up on May 15th. Um, So we're gonna have the first Nintendo store on the West Coast of the U.S. We've had one in New York for wow, how long? For over 20 years, over 25 years, I think. I don't know how long it's been there. Because I remember it started out as the Pokemon Center, in New York, and then they changed it to the Nintendo store. Um, but yeah, this is the second Nintendo store in the U.S. There's some in Japan, and I think there's one in the UK, um, or somewhere in Europe. Um, but yeah, this is the second one in the US, so there's gonna be one on the West Coast. And the date of Nintendo or May 15th, um, does lead me to believe maybe with that coming out and this being a grand opening, I wonder if the Switch 2 is releasing on May 15th. That'd be crazy. Like a month and a half after the direct. Which that kind of lines up with when the Switch 1 came out after that big presentation they did, which was like a month about a month and a half after that presentation. So maybe. We'll see. Like, I'm still betting on it coming out later in the year, but May 15th might be something to look at. But we'll see. We'll find out on April 2nd. Also, another thing about this, if you want to go there, right now, with your Nintendo account, you can put in some platinum points for a sweepstakes. And it covers a round trip flight, hotel, a Visa gift card for the store of like $500. So yeah, if you want a trip to go to the grand opening of the Nintendo store in San Francisco, go to your My Nintendo thing, put in your platinum points. I already put in mine. But yeah. Yeah, round trip flight. Yeah, special tour and everything. So, really cool. I doubt I'll get it because you can only put in 5 entries to the sweepstakes. I don't know how many people are winning. But yeah. That's going to be fun. But yeah, it covers up to 3 people too. So you can take 2 other people with you. So that's really cool. So yeah, check your Nintendo account, put in your platinum points for 5 entries, and maybe you'll get it. All right. Well, that's all the news I have for today's underwater level. We'll have a lot more to talk about. We did have a lot to talk about today. However, we will have a lot to talk about next time because of the Switch 2 Direct and some other things that might happen in between now and then. But thank you so much for watching. For those of you on YouTube, so those in Twitch chat live right now, say bye YouTube. Bye YouTube. We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. Same C time.
Oh no.
Same C channel.
Oh wait, they'll hear it. I just didn't hear it. Bye YouTube.